Okay. The next part is another. This is another meter stick again, but now this meter stick, let's say it was made by another manufacturer. So here, this might look, well, it looks a little different, but it's actually going to read the same values. So in this meter stick here, the centimeter corresponds to the 1. So that means that those little tick marks are still 1 millimeter. So in this case here again, the value for the smallest division for the meter stick. So V1 div is still going to be 1 millimeter. And just like before, you're going to use that to get the error like I showed you at the top. In this case, you're going to get the error in meters, and you're also going to get the error in centimeters. So you just have to get the error and then convert it from one to the other. And then once you've gotten that, then you're going to read the length of this paper clip and enter it. In one case, you're going to enter it in meters, and in the other case, you're going to enter it in centimeters. So here you have to get both the error for the meter stick and also read off the length of the paper clip. So now let's go to part 2. Part 3. So part 3, here you're given a table, and if you look on the right here, you're actually given some numbers already. So you're given the X data, which is 25, 50, 100 all the way down to 900, and that corresponds to the numbers on the horizontal axis here. So what you have to do is, for each of these dots, you already have their X coordinates. That's what's given on the table, and what you have to find is the height, the Y value of each of these dots, and you're going to enter. So I'm just trying to redraw it here. So you have a table. You have the graph and then some dots here. So you're already given the X value for those dots, and what you have to do is to find the corresponding Y value for each of those dots. And once you get those Y values, then you're going to enter those Y values here. And similarly to the homework in lab 1, you're going to decide which of those corresponds to the independent variable and which one corresponds to the dependent variable. So that is a kind of a repetition for lab for the last lab. The only new thing now is you also have to find the error for the vertical axis, or in this case here for the speed. So here the smallest division is going to be 1 unit, and you have to decide, are you going to multiply, because these are Y divisions, are you going to multiply the smallest division by 0.1 or 0.5? And once you've decided what value you're going to multiply that factor with for large divisions, for Y divisions, then you're going to enter your error value here along with the corresponding unit. So what you think of corresponding to the unit of the vertical axis. So that's part 3. Part 4 involves calculations. So here, this relates to us having to use statistics. So let's go ahead and do that. So you have the formulas are listed here. So the average, and we also have the formula for the standard deviation of the mean, which is this one. Well, let's go ahead and do this one in Excel. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of these windows. Okay. So first thing here, let's go ahead and calculate the average. So whenever you do a calculation in Excel, start with an equal sign, and the function that we want is average, so type AVE, pick average. And here, since all the numbers are next to each other, just click and drag across all those numbers. I should probably zoom out and redo that. So let's try that again. Equals, and then AVE, average. drag your cursor across all those numbers, and you see they're getting populated. And then from there, close the parentheses, and then enter. So that gives you the average value. And the next thing is to calculate the standard deviation of the mean. So what you're going to do here is you're going to type equals. I'm going to just make these things smaller. Okay, so we want to calculate the standard deviation of the mean. So what you'll do is you're going to start off with equals and type ST, and you're going to pick the STDEV. That means the standard deviation of the mean. And again, drag it across the numbers that you want, and then close parentheses. But the error is the standard deviation of the mean divided by the square root of the number of trials. So here there are 5 trials. So divided by SQRT, which is going to be square root, and then 5, and then close parentheses. And from there, go ahead and press enter. So we're not quite there yet. That is the answer, but errors always have to be written in one significant figure. So here, what you can do is just round this off to the side to one sig fig. So this is actually going to be 0.2. And then you're going to just rewrite that here. So that shows you how you're going to calculate the average and the standard deviation of the mean. And notice that the 0.9 and the 0.2 are in the same decimal place, so that's fine. So we've actually done I've done most of the lab with you. You just have to do the rest here. So now let's also go to the homework tab.